I can listen to you. Okay, fine.
Sir, is it 6 o'clock? Can we start? Do I have the permission to start?
Yes, sir, you can go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, President. Good evening, everybody. So, this is the first program on CFO Meet, which we wanted to do in all the regions. So, we thought Bengaluru is the apt place to start. So, first of all, we thank Bengaluru, and I think Bengaluru should clap for ourselves. The flow of the program will be, there will be an institute anthem in the beginning. Then our senior director from the institute, Mr. Nandi, he will be giving a small intro about the institute. Then our president will address us. Then Mr. Trivengadam, I request, because we have an MOU with Confederation of Indian Industry on Total Cost Management Division. So there will be a small explanation about that. And then we have requested 2 more people to join. If they are able to join online, they will be able to come. Otherwise, whenever they come, they will address. Then there will be a group photograph at 6:30, because we thought if somebody else join till that time, there will be a group photo at 6:30. Then the floor is open to all of you, because the whole idea is we want to talk less and hear more and more and more, and then improve. Thank you very much. Nandi, anthem.
असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतं गमय ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति.
To all of you. So this is the first edition of our CFO Summit being organized by members in Industry Committee of the Institute of Cost Accountants of India, and this time in association with Bengaluru chapter of the Institute of Cost Accountants of India. So we are delighted to have with us many of our past presidents and all the eminent dignitaries, our CMs, and along with our president sir on the screen. And as we are having a very short time, so I'll just start with the presentation of the institute. This is only a recapitulation. Many of our members are here, they know all about it. Few non-members are there. So it's a recapitulation and start with the presentation of the institute. So presently we say that our institute is the largest CMA body in the globe in terms of its members and students altogether. So all of us know that this is a statutory body under an Act of Purlament, and it's under the administrative control of Ministry of Corporate Affairs. So these are the visionaries. They talk about our institute, cost audit, the costing system and all this thing about our institute in different times. Former President of India, APJ Abdul Kalam, former President of India, Pranab Mukherjee, former Prime Minister Lal Bahadur Shastri, who happens to be laid down our the institute headquarters at Kolkata in 1958. So this is the journey of the institute starting from 1944, all you know, during the Second World War time in Kolkata. They started, a group of people started with formed a company under the name the Institute of Cost and Works Accountants of India. 59 we got enacted, 65, in the year 65, this Companies Act 1956 amended, and the scope for this cost accounting, cost record that came. 1996 cost audit report that came into force. Then 2012 our name has been changed to management, and group 4 we have cost and management audit. So 400 papers in cost and management accounting that we have given emphasis in our curriculum. So this is our robust training, 15 months practical training, and around 15,000 companies in last 3-4 years, they have been attached with our institute to provide practical training to the students, apart from the cost audit firms. So that is a great achievement from the institute part, its robustness. So after training, the placement comes. We have seen a big improvement in placement. In last 5 years, we have placed more than 5,000 students in different companies, PSUs, MNCs, big 4 consulting firms and reputed corporate. Highest package goes up to 28 lakhs, average package is 10 lakh. And more than 1,000 placement opportunities we host in through our vibrant portal, placement portal. And also we have started with overseas campus placements. So in campus placement, students are getting more opportunities. We can say 50 to 60% students, they got placed immediately after passing. And now from next month, we'll start the campus placement for this batch of December, qualified students of December 2023. So these are few areas we have identified as, because this is a corporate event. So these are major career avenues CMAs can have. If they are having less than 10 years of experience, they can be absorbed as risk manager, financial analyst, credit analyst, internal auditor, project manager, project accountant, and financial accountant. If their age is in between 10 to 20 years, they may be head of finance, strategic head, cost advisor, finance controller, cost controller, maybe professor and dean of finance. And if they are more than 20 years of experience, they can have a CMD of a company, CFO, CEO, CO, Director of Finance, President, Vice President. So this is a path, job path or career path of a CMA through its life. So we have very good recognitions got. Just UGC has given us equivalent to PG degree in the year 2021. This is a landmark decision by UGC. So anybody who is become a only high secondary pass or a graduation, they can be treated as postgraduate with this notification of the University Grants Commission. IGNOU, they have given us an opportunity for MBA, MCOM and BCom courses for the cost, for the students, those who are pursuing intermediate or final course with credit system, credit transfer system, they can have this exemption. And UK NARIC has given us benchmark. So our final pass students are equivalent to master's degree in UK and UAE, and intermediate qualified students are equivalent to bachelor degree in UK and UAE. So these are the recognitions in academic parlance. So we are having 3 vibrant departments: Board of Advanced Studies and Research, Tax Research Department, and Banking, Financial Services and Insurance Board. They are providing in total around 20 courses, which is very much useful for which can be treated as a post-qualification courses for our members, even for the final level students. The courses like forensic audit, data analytics, business valuation modeling, TDS, GST, in the banking forum, concurrent audit, credit management, all their array of courses. Okay. So this was our members and final students, they can take up for their future development. So this is a very interesting fact, gender diversity and reach the unreached. So when we started taking the figure from 2012-13, our gender diversity was in our course students, 70% students are male students and 30% are female students. So we have improved the situation in 2023-24. The male students are 52% and female students are 48%. This is closely achieving the highest level of balanced gender diversity. So hopefully it will, the female participation will be reaching more than male participation very soon. As well as, it is another interesting fact in last 12 years, we have analyzed through the how many pin codes we have covered through the admission of the students. We have seen there are 19,101 pin codes available in India, out of which our institute, they have achieved to get 17,854 pin codes, that is almost 94% of the total pin code. There are 6% last mile we have to reach. And regarding cities covered, there are 1,685 cities around. So we have covered 1,583 cities. Again, this is 94%. So this 6% balance we have to cover up in next 5 to 6 years. And this is another big initiative Institute has taken, the special drive for northeastern states and Jammu and Kashmir. This is also reflecting our Vikshit Bharat project of Government of India, where we have given 100% fees waiver scheme for the female students of these areas and 75% fees waiver for the male student to have a more balanced approach in terms of growth of the country. So with this, I would like to conclude the presentation. So we'll start with the next session.
Anand will come. You can take him in. We can take President inside. You may request President to address.
President sir.
Yes, please.
Yes. Yes, sir. Please address the gathering, sir.
Good evening. Honorable Thiruvandamji, my colleague in the council, Sri TC.A. Prasad ji, Nandi ji, my fellow members and participants to this CFO meet. I extend my best wishes and greetings for the Holi, which is there day after tomorrow. I'm sure that I will be speaking less because, as Mr. Prasad sir has said, that this is the program for listening CFOs and not to listen the speakers from the other side. So let me start, let me tell you that this CFO summit will allow all participants to forge strategic partnership with the peers, industry leaders, service providers, and potential clients. This connection can lead to a collaboration, opportunities, joint ventures, and business alliances that can benefit to both the members and organizations. This CFO Summit, I am sure it will provide a platform for CFOs and finance professionals to exchange their insight, experiences, and best practices. This CFO Summit will also provide us a light on the principles and practices of TCM advocated by CII TCM division, and where we are the partners for implementing this. And I am sure this CFO meet will benefit all attendees. At this juncture, I would like to make announcement that on 27th, 28th and 29th June at Gujarat Statue of Unity, the Institute is going to organize a National Cost Convention, and I invite you all to join and have a good occasion to meet with each other. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We are with us our Central Council member, CMA Manoj Kumar Anandji. Sir, I request to deliver it on this occasion. Sir, please.
Thank you, Nandiji. Thank you very much. Our President, Shri Dalwadi ji, my very dear friend and colleague, Prasad Saab, and all the participants here. It's a wonderful occasion what has been created in Bangalore, this CFO meet, and as very rightly mentioned by President, that we are here more to listen than to speak. But in speaking, as President has mentioned about our national convention in Statue of Unity, I'll also extend my warm welcome to all of you to be there. And I will like to tell you one more thing over here, that at the institute level, in the area of advanced studies, we are now coming out with more better industrial specific courses, which is clearly refocusing our institute into management accounting alongside cost accounting. I wish all of you very great deliberations, and missing this place in person, in physical, but I am very thankful to Prasad Saab for organizing, and thankful to our Bangalore chapter regional council people, Bangalore Council, regional council chapter people for helping in organization of this wonderful conclave. Thank you very much, sir, and we wishing all of you very, very best of the luck. Thank you very much.
So, with the permission of President, sir, and we'll start with the proceedings.
To start. Thank you.
Respected President of the Institute, Mr. Anandji and Mr. Seinivasa Prasad, TC.A. Seinivasa Prasad, and also past presidents, GNV and Gopalakrishnan. It's a great pleasure to be here. I always feel humbled when I stand in front of CMAs, especially in Bangalore. Bangalore chapter, I've had phenomenal exposure over so many years, practically every year, the convention, the meetings and so on, been involved quite a bit. But here today, I'm going to be playing the role slightly different. I'm a member of the Institute. I'm really a very, very, what shall I say, a humble member of the Institute. And I've had the opportunity of being tremendously benefited by being a member of the Institute over 40 years, and it's been an outstanding help for me in my career, and it made a lot of difference to me. And all the colleagues here, I know most of them here, and also really welcome to all the CFOs in Bangalore. It's a great occasion to meet together. What I would like to focus today is on CII, because I've been associated with the CII in a sort of honorary position over many years. Actually, the journey started sometime in the mid-90s of the last century. And so you can say about 25 to 30 years is the exact number, is somewhat not clear. But I remember I've been associated along with Mr. A.N. Raman, who's an outstandingly important intellectual in the entire profession that in India as well as in SAFA and so on. So Mr. Raman and myself, we were involved, and I would always call that as a 90-10 relationship, 90 Raman, 10 myself. And also Mr. Gopalakrishnan, he's been a mentor in the CIA program, along with another member of the Institute called Asim Mukhopadhyay. So 4 of us have been involved very, very for a long time and extremely effective. I would like to talk a little bit, break this 10-12 minutes into 3 or 4 points. One is to talk about the CII journey initially, what happened and what came out of that. The second is in terms of numbers and what we did and so on. Second is, I'm not going to get into the nature and what it means to have an understanding of total cost management. All of you are much better than me in that area. But what is more important is, what is it that is happening? What is it that is changing now when the Institute and CII get together? I'm sure you are aware, some of the members who are not members of CMA may not be aware, but CMA has signed an MOU with CII for journey together. And I think this is something which many presidents in the past and many CII national leaders have tried to make it happen, but it didn't work out for various reasons. But this time, a great presence of our president as well as from the CII side. It's been possible, and recently we did that in the last convention that we had in Hyderabad. So it was a great time. And for me, who's a very ardent member of the Institute as well as of the CII TCM cell, it's been a great occasion, and I hope we will derive the benefit out of that. And that is where the contribution of Mr. Seinivasa Prasad is to be mentioned. He has driven this now a little bit into making it move faster, where it should go. And I think the CFO Summit, Leadership Summit, is a very important aspect of that. We have to spread this. So when the CII TCM journey started, at that time the word TCM itself was a little difficult, and we had to coin something, and we coined the word total cost management. At that time, the first step was to take it to the industry. And that's what, fortunately, CII has access to its members, and it's very large, as you are aware. And in the initial stages, in the first 2 years, we did about 50 and odd programs. Each program, on an average, was 30 to 35 people. And this was not only finance professionals. So I'm talking about roughly 1,600 people. I have been personally involved in sharing some knowledge and bringing up. The study was done. We had done some preparation and learning, and also whatever courses that were to be done at that time, primarily from the point of view of the people who were really driving this internationally. And that really helped us in terms of reaching out. The reaching out made a huge difference. These 1,600 people, and these are people spread across all metros. We went to all the places: Mumbai, Delhi, Calcutta, Chennai, Hyderabad, Bangalore. Apart from, this was primarily driven by the southern part of CII. So more emphasis was on towns and cities in south, places like Coimbatore, industry centers like Coimbatore, Mysore, and so on. So this was one major initiative. The second initiative which followed that was, and please remember, the point to mention is that this 1,600 odd people were not just finance professionals. I would say two-thirds of them, but the rest of them were also operational. And that is one of the drivers in terms of making this TCM really stay and work well. And so along with that, and Raman's good idea, always Raman's idea, and he converted this entire thing as to how do we make this a remembrance and something which the companies and the organizations, we were obviously targeting at the CII members, and then CII members had to use this as a very effective tool. To do that, a program and a framework was developed. And this framework tried to say, if you're on a journey of cost management, and if you want to really call yourself an outstanding cost management institution, what should be the stages, and what should this whole table look like? And we took a lot of time, about a couple of years, if I remember rightly. You know, I'm aging the other side. I'm sort of becoming younger and younger, but the point is still, memory is sometimes. So I would say roughly 2 years we took, and we finally arrived at a framework, which is still, we had revised it 3 times in the last 15 years, but still the framework is extremely valid, and it classifies institutions, organizations, industrial organizations, service organizations, financial organizations, and so on, into 5 categories, and these 5 categories are evaluated. And this became a major success. When you go to some organization and tell them, look, we will evaluate your cost management capability, and cost management, profit management, value management, all of these came into that picture. And that was a very important driver for us to reach out cost management to linking it with strategy. And that was a major change. If I remember, it was just the turn of the century. And I remember this was something which we were able to project and convince CII members at a very senior level. And when I say senior level, I'm talking about real leaders of industry in the country. And we were able to say that if you are able to follow this journey, you would be able to make a differentiation from the point of view of an overall strategy. And this is an extremely important link. Even today, I struggle with it when we try to give examples and make people understand, but companies have followed it. A large number of business organizations have been able to do that. And so we expanded the scope, included and brought in a lot of these things. And that is something which I'll tell finally, which is currently what's happening. So this journey of measurement, placing organizations in different categories of effectiveness of cost management implication in their organizations, evaluating them, this became a very important part of CII. And we had a separate unit. It had 3 to 5 people and a leader by Mr. Nagesh is his name, Very, very effective person. And he was from Hyderabad, this was driven. And it was an all-India effort, and we had practically the entire country, primarily, of course, from the industrial centers, and manufacturing became a very important part. So 80% of the work was towards manufacturing companies, though we started doing some work also in service organizations, because service growth was very significant in Indian economy. So service organizations also were covered, I would reckon, but 20% or so. And also we tried including financial sector, the banks, NBFCs and so on. It didn't go very well. It didn't take off as we expected, which was something which I was personally keen on, because from my career point of view, from my organization where I was working all my life, there obviously we were able to look at the entire entire spectrum of business organizations from a cost management perspective. So this was easier for maybe private consulting firms to do, but CII had the challenges really taking it to various different types of organizations. This journey went on very nicely. In between, while we did this evaluation and placing people, it's called TC.A model, the model was being applied, but the learning was not easily spread. So the idea of convention was created. The cost conventions became a regular annual feature. We've had a couple of dozens of those, and these across the country, primarily, mainly most of the time in Mumbai, Delhi, Chennai, Hyderabad. And so these centers of excellence where we were able to convey something about the cost modeling, the way in which TCM journey has taken place. This per year, we used to have not less than 300 to 350 people attending the convention. And these conventions, of course, I had done some analysis on the repeat attendance. It's about 40% repeat attendance, but in spite of that, we've had the convention once which had as many as 600 and odd people. But these are all middle and above senior level people of organizations across the entire country, whether it is hotels, whether it is paper industry, whether it is steel industry, across IT, banks, multinationals, Indian companies, public sector, government organizations like ISRO, defense organizations, railways, across the entire spectrum. And this was the conventions, annual cost conventions, TCM conventions, became an extremely important part of the journey. So the training, the convention, the model building and evaluation, cost modeling, and placing an organization at different levels of competence, and also the cost convention. These are things which have been, obviously, when all of this happens and you try telling people about cost management, the organizations tend to ask you back, tell me, how do you help me to do this? What will I achieve? What are the end goals? What will I get out of this from a business perspective? And this was something which also started doing, but that requires a separate type of organization, a larger organization. CIA is not necessarily oriented towards it. CIA, as you know, is an industry body. So their objectives, their primary requirements are different from what you would consider as a typical business of making this. This is not a business. So this is where the institute, CMA, becomes very important in the entire spectrum of things. If CIA is doing this alone, the joining of institute in this journey would really make a difference, because we have a very large membership. Like Mr. Nandi just now showed you, we have very well spread. So the membership would have a tremendous amount of impact. And so we want to combine this. And while combining this is what the MOU says, we will work together in creating the awareness. Not just today, the level of awareness creation is not the only challenge, but the challenge is to take it and implementable solutions where the benefit will be passed on to members and industry and so on. And this is where the journey is very, very effective now. So I'll give you a simple example. Over a period of time, we have started with the operational cost level, understanding, analysis, and so on. I'm not getting technical, please. Technical could be a long session, but here I'm just telling you at a very, very high level. At move to strategy, I mentioned that. When you move to strategy, obviously, you have very large number of tools, concepts, and so on. You have a very large number of implication and implementation issues. For example, IT, the whole entire IT and the IT applications. And also the benefits that you would get out of implementing. For example, will your profitability go up substantially? Will your entire market outlook change? Yes, it changes. For example, a simple thing, a customer profitability, product profitability at a very, very high level made huge difference in many organizations. This is one single, just give you a case example. In this case, today, if you take this, the last 2 years, 1.5 years, we've been really engaged in some way to looking at what AI, ML, things which have really become very current, how are they influencing the entire concept of. So the TCM is at the core. But we must ensure that all the areas which are very relevant to various organizations, and that is something which CIA has easy access and also can get people. The members have tremendous knowledge. So ultimately we'll create a huge framework which will say, these are all the types of concepts and tools that we have, which have all been applied and tried out. These are all the kind of monitoring and implementation areas which are available today, which makes it happen very well. For example, if you want to do a major design change, the cost of design change and so on is available today because of the technology changes. So can we use and can we link all of this is an area which we are right now quite engaged. Gopalakrishnan, for example, has been thinking and doing a lot of work in this area. He's also brought out a very nice paper in putting it into relevance. So this kind of a thing is where we are really will be benefiting. The CFOs will say, obviously all of you, you're all people who are leading your businesses. You're making a change in your business by being a CFO. Today, the role of a CFO has changed so much. And we have seen that happening over the years. So we believe that this purpose of a summit like this is using this MOU which we have with CII and our institute, CMA. We also involve the people side, which is the CFOs. And they have their own issues, problems, and their contribution in terms of some companies have tried out certain small things, and that has become useful for them. But we would like to get that out, spread it, and make everyone benefit from that. And that is where we stand today. And I think 2024 is going to make a huge difference in this. And as a first thing, it's a great idea that Mr. Seinivasa thought of. And I always believe Bengaluru is a Bengaluru. So Bengaluru is the right place to start. And so this is something which we all believe. And I think it can happen very well. I'm extremely confident. And I really would like to thank you from the bottom of my heart for being here today, this evening, taking off time on Saturday evening and coming here. And please feel free, ask things, clarify, look for things. But I think there is tremendous amount of knowledge base available, and we have a lot of examples, cases, implementation possibilities available. So make use of this. Make use of the members of CMA. I can tell you, our today's CMA members are people who are really aware of what's happening. And that will be a great thing if we can all get together. And I thank you so much for the opportunity.
Friends, the floor is open for us to listen to all of you. We thought we will have 30 minutes up from our side, and then we will have about 90 to 105 minutes from your side. So before we move on to you, there is a request from our side to have a group photograph of all of us. So, pardon me, sir? Wherever. You tell us where we should go. We'll go. After that, we have not gone on any kind of alphabet or this company, that company. We want to hear each and every one present here. We will take down and then we will summarize. I have with me two more council members, Mr. Suresh Gunjali, and I have Mr. Deshpande. I have our past presidents, two of them. So we will all give our reflections at the end. Thank you. Friends, may I have your attention, please? So I am requesting Mr. Gopal Ramnan to do the honors of inviting each one of you, so that we request you to introduce yourself, your company. So what do you expect from us? That is the most important thing, because we want to improve, we want to contribute more to the industry and to the society. So we request your input so that we improve. Thank you very much.
So good evening. I'm Satish Shivraman. So I'm CFO of International Aerospace Manufacturing Private Limited. It's a joint venture between Rolls-Royce and HAL. So we make components for civil and defense aircraft engines. So it's a great opportunity to meet you all. So thanks, Gopal, for pulling me in. It's an amazing experience knowing all of you. I think from an industry standpoint, sir was explaining that about the 15 months training, which somehow I felt, most of us never had an opportunity of having an industrial training, which had some challenges when we get into the industry, but I think this should help. And I also feel, of course, sir was mentioning that, CFO role has, moved. There have been dynamics have changed a lot now. I think the probably institute has to stress, or probably the, somewhere in the process of training, we have to insist that every individual has to have a value addition, either to the top line or to a bottom line. So, if you don't do that, I think no more compliance or an accounting or giving MIS is not a CFO role anymore. I think it's beyond that. We have to partner with the business and try to see how we can add value. So thank you again for the opportunity. It was nice connecting with you all. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Sarvesh. I am the India CFO for Modar Solutions India. This is a IT company. We are into BPO and IT services. My friend Satish did cover the where students will be going through the industrial training kind of a thing. So I think that is really helpful, which was missing in our times. I have done CMA and as well as the CMA London this thing. So the main difference I have seen is I could see right now a lot of changes in the curriculum and a lot of things have been brought in. The fundamental change I could see between the two was the CMA or any other courses, MBAs, they talk about the applicability of the whatever theory we study. And I think that is majoritarily missing in our this thing. It's more of a what do I study and how just put it in the exam. But whereas in these exams, you have to apply, a business case has been given, and you have to apply these things, and that is where you are really getting into a scenario of real life when you're getting into a job kind of a thing. I think we have to think a bit on that side. Maybe, hopefully, I asked a little late, so maybe that is coming up in the revised syllabus as well. Other one is, it is not a accountant function or a cost accountant function anymore. It's more of a business enabler, the business support. We have to see how we work with the business to ensure that we win the business and sustain profitability, of course, cost effectiveness and all is there. So I think we have to think from that angle rather than just being an accountant or sending an MIS and stuff like that. So it should be more of how do we work with the business so that the organization achieves what it thrives for. I think that is where the modern education has to every education or every institute has to work towards. So that is my 2 cents. Thank you.
So good evening. So my name is Subhash. I'm a senior director in Dell India. I mean, my company I don't think needs a lot of introduction, but yes, but we are in the IT space where we do a lot of products and services in the client solutions as well as in the infrastructure solutions group, and where we are leaders in most places. Now, coming to what we are looking for, I mean, the entire finance function is undergoing a significant amount of transformation and change, and that's coming across all gamuts of businesses. And there is so much of focus, and then the buzzword today is AI and ML. I mean, everybody has to talk about AI and ML. Now, at the same pace of what does it mean for the finance function? And we are talking about a lot of people who are trying to understand what it means and how can they upskill themselves. So I think what we need to kind of focus on is what can we give to the people who are already there in the companies? I mean, how can we equip them and give them some additional training to upskill themselves to what is expected now. And at the same time, when you talk about the newer students who are going through their education, I mean, can we enrich their curriculum to look at these aspects so that when they come into the industry, they are ready to take on and meet the requirements of what is expected by the business today. I think that's in brief what I would like to kind of say, and we can talk more as we go along. Thank you.
So I'm Sriram Santanam, Director of Finance and Company Secretary from Floso. First I'll thank Gopal, because everybody will thank him. So a couple of info. In fact, when we qualified, in fact, I could see my childhood friend. We studied CMA, CEWA and CA together and all. So during those days, we just blindly went to all the three institutes. Triplet is a passion, and do CA, do CMA, morning class for CWA. We don't know what we are. And we landed up in some job. And today, like Subhash was telling, the requirement has completely changed. And I think Nandi sir was telling proudly that we are going to take 400 marks in costing. Amazing. We wrote 300 marks, if I remember. But on the other side, I'm not making a sarcastic comment. I was targeted heavily by the CMA Institute for the last 1 year. I can openly tell, because of the LinkedIn collection, maybe some of my colleagues, friends here would have been dead. Its message is very clear. I was called into 2 meetings, like an industry connect like this. This is a very open, transparent, because it's my institute, about the inputs. Then they started telling 1 paper, 13 papers exemption, you will get CGMA. Then I was curious, because when we all wrote the CMA final, we used to go and read the Saxena Vashisht and go to the library and pick up the CMA, because the CMA craze was always there. But I don't need it at my age. We are all at the end of the career, and they were targeting me, and again, one more virtual conference. And then I spoke to one of the senior, I don't want to mention the person, so I spoke to 2 of the people who finished that by paying the 3 or 4 lakhs. So I can afford that 4 lakhs, which I couldn't 25 years back. And now if you see the LinkedIn, even I was telling some name to Gopal, maybe he can share it in private. One of my known person, his name, company is coming, and his promotion in LinkedIn, CGMA Global. Why we can't do it? Other institute, which is targeting the Christ University and other thing, is ACCA London, IMA US, and I met one of my colleagues' niece. She finished ACCA and she spoke to me for career guidance and all. Immediately she got some job. It's all not easy. It's not difficult like our course. You take ACCA London or IMA, just do 5 papers, 1.5 years. You get the education and they get 10 lakhs, 12 lakhs, Goldman Sachs, because multinationals. When I talk to some of my UX colleagues, they say, hey, CPA, I finished in 1.5 years. When we talk about our 16 papers in every course, exemption, struggle, toughness, like I was there in another session in the morning, in the evening with the council members, I was telling about the fundamentals. The fundamentals are extremely strong. When I sit in some of the global calls, or with Gopal or Subhash or any one of us who sits in the global call, the fundamentals are unbelievable, which our institute has got it. So my only request to the senior in the system, we are there. In fact, I should be ashamed that I am not connected to the institute. I want to apologize to all the seniors in the system. But today, like Subhash said, it's management accounting, which is more important. I have cost accountants in my office, I have chartered accountants in my office. There is a difference. So the person who is passing a CA was a CWA, there is a difference. But if they do both, so some of us have done all the three and we got into that institute and we have just grown. We don't know which institute has contributed to our success. But the CMA Institute, definitely, if you have to go to the next chapter, which Modi is talking of, all the big things of 2047, other things, my personal request is, I think we should just change the marketing style of our institute, because honestly, I took some of the photographs of what Nandi sir has told. I get the journals. I have been paying the genuine membership fee from 1995. But honestly, there was no connect for a simple reason is the other institutes are connecting more through their LinkedIn, the marketing, and some of these flyers and whatnot it is. And in fact, nothing against the CA Institute or CWA Institute. There was just a news article just 10 days back that CA Institute is going 3 times and women participation, and the president is giving some this thing about the India growth. So the same India growth, we just have to get it from the government of India. So we can also do it. It's a humble submission, nothing against any individuals or anybody who has been. I was talking about my late uncle who used to work with him, who used to be very active in Mysore, Bengaluru area. I was just talking to Sir sometime back, Bova Raghavan. So he used to be on those things, but honestly, I never got connected. But we are all members, but a lot of things Institute can do it, and we are there to support, sir. That's my humble request.
Thank you. Good evening. My name is Amarnath Mohanty. I'm the CFO of Decide Limited. I can take 4-5 minutes. Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir. I can tell you very proudly I'm a CMA first and a CA second. So I'll give you my experience of the industry about almost 35-40 years. I cannot, with my 40 years of experience, tell you that I cannot overemphasize the concept or the importance or prominence of cost in any business for whatsoever. When I first joined an FMCG company, that was the cost of procuring tea from auction. That was driving the business of the company. When I joined the second company, it was industrial manufacturing company. They were setting up a project. And then cost of that project was so much driving. I was a kid then. I guess a lot of people tell me that I look like a kid now as well, but I was looking even more like a kid.
There is a small request, since President also is listening.
Oh.
If you go there, then he will be.
Oh yeah, in fact, that's a very good. In fact, I can tell you, I can use this. Because President cannot see. Okay. I think, good evening, President. My name is Amarnath Mohanty. If you recollect, I know you well as well. I can proudly call you Ashwin Bhai. Anyway, I don't know he could hear me or not. I knew him well before as well. Anyway, I'll come back to what I was trying to tell you. And when I was a kid, when I was in the second company, and I just joined that company I was 2 months. The parent company CEO, he had come to that place. He just came to me and said, what are you? I said, I'm a cost accountant. And I'm doing okay, I'll tell him a little later. And I'm doing my CA as well. I'm still one group left in CA final. I said, he asked me, what have been given? What is your responsibility here? I said, sir, I have been told to do the project cost control. And then he said, can you tell me whether it is in control? I said, sir, I'm very new, I don't know. He said, how much time you want? I was just even surprised. I said, I'm new here, how do I say? I just said, sir, I guess I'll need 2 months to tell you whether the project cost is under control or not. He said, okay, that's fine, you take it. And I have a boss called Seinivasa. He was my boss, immediate boss. I said, boss, I have committed, I don't know what I committed. I don't know anything about it. So can I go back to him in 2 months, say that either we are under, the project cost is under control or not control? He said, you sit with me half an hour. I'll tell you how it is to be done. And it was in fact a part of the Indian Aluminium then, Indal, and he said, you sit with me for 10 minutes, I'll tell you what to do. And we have broken down the whole project into 400 sub-projects. I'll tell you what you have to do. You just take the list of all 400 and break down the cost into each one of them. And then you can link each one of them into your PO, which we call the financial commitment, and how much you have spent, and how can you relate that to the physical progress. I can go and tell you, you will get to know whether we will be within the cost or not. That was so much of importance. I went back to him. With a lot of hesitation, I told him, sir, I think we are under control, and we can be under control. In fact, we did so. And then he held my hand. He went all through the corporate office. He said, this is the boy who has told me that it is within the cost. You guys are not able to tell me. And then he looked at everybody and told me, everybody should know you by your first name. That I remember what it is. He just took me around in the whole corporate office and told everybody, including the CFO and the treasurer, the chief accountant, everything. So see what was the importance of cost then. Then I joined a company. I was transferred to the same company, another big factory. The competition was just coming in. The cost competitiveness then in 1997, 98 was so much so, and I was the only guy. I just did a small model saying that this was a huge company with a 500 crore turnover with almost like more than 50 crores of profit. Nobody knew when the sales guys are going and quoting, they're quoting rightly or wrongly. I just, about 6-7 months later, I got into each of the drivers. Why does it make sense? Why doesn't make sense? Which product, how much? I just did a small model, and that was something like, if you give pizzas to kids, it becomes, so much so for the kids saying that like it, everybody started liking it. So then I joined a company which is in the consumer goods. In fact, it was in the air conditioners. I think one of our friend Otis, it was Carrier Aircon. And that company kept on moving their manufacturing depending on the cost of the product being manufactured and the logistic cost. They were in the Gurgaon, they moved to Silvassa, from Silvassa to here and there. That's one. Then after that, for last 23 years, I'm CFO of 2 capital goods companies, both are listed companies. And I cannot tell you any more saying that how the cost of producing that product and selling it at a particular price with such a competition, how important it is. 2 days ago, in my present company, our CFO just told me out of blue, I don't know what. We had done a restructuring and a consolidation of factories and things like that. I had forgotten what you had said to the board and the owners and everywhere, saying that when you started this, we said we wanted to spend some money, about 30-40 crores. And we had said that this is the IRR, this is the cost saving which are going to come because of the consolidation. I had forgotten what I had worked and given it to him. He said, Amar, what you had told, we have exactly achieved. Don't take it literally. He said, the nuts and bolts of the factory and its cost, and therefore, we have achieved what we thought we will do. We have overachieved also. Then I went back to my worksheet. I said, come on, I have forgotten. So this is the importance of cost. I mean, whether it is AI, you think of the big companies. Right now, there are no manufacturing company in the top 10 in the world. Either they're IT companies or they're e-commerce companies. Walmart. Look at Walmart. Cost of product is the only driver for their business. Look at Amazon. cost of selling, and the product cost is the driving point of their business. The model is like that, and so many disruptions have happened, like the outsourcing, which we are talking very loosely now. When it came from US, it was only the low cost of manufacturing or low cost base and things like that have. So what I'm trying to say is, cost has never had a second importance to anything in business. No slight against anybody. Actually, when I got the invitation, I just looked at, went through all of this, what is written there. And I have an uncanny habit of looking at what is written in the footnote, right? So can you tell me what is written in the footnote in this, which is down below, which should have come actually at the top? It says, every business decision has a CMA behind it or something like that. I said, that should have been, that's my own experience. I said, this should have been at the top, then at the bottom. And there is nothing in this world, no business, who cannot or who can afford to ignore cost. At the end of the day, I work in a multinational company where we count weeks. We do not count months, or we do not say year or something like that. Out of 52 weeks, 25 to, since you are a listed company, 25 to 26 weeks goes in compliances, whether statutory audit, internal audit, tax audit, cost audit, and then whatnot audit, then board meeting, prepare for the board, do this, do that. I can tell you, balance 50% of my time. Out of balance 50%, 40% of my time I only look at costs of either in the factory, either in the cost of production, or in the OPEX. That is the only mantra I have found. We have been achieving our plan only by cost management. It's nothing different than cost management. So when I have two hats, I'm a CMA and I'm a CA as well, and I'm the CFO of the company as well. People look forward to me saying that he is the gentleman, or Amar is the person. If he says don't do it from cost perspective, please don't do it. Or if he says this is not the way to do it, please don't do it. So that kind of, you can say the pride or the credit or whatever. So we all have, all CFOs have. I think all of you may be knowing, feeling every day, but you may not be able to express it. But this is the reality. Every day in and out, if I open my mouth 100 times in a day, 60 times I would have talked about cost. This is how it is. Having said that, coming to the institutes, input from the institute, in fact, I went sit down, I hold two qualifications, CM and CA. I said, what has happened? This side of my ear is CA and this side of my ear is CMA. Why do CMA institute doesn't get, or as a CMA, I don't get that prominence as I get as a CA? I think with that thought, I'll leave it to all of you. The prominence of CMA is that what I wanted to talk with all this context to what I gave you. When you do it day in and day out, it's like either a mother or a wife, she does what not. At the end of the day, somebody may say, mummy to khana banati hai, aur kya karti hai, papa aan karti hai, mummy khana banati hai. But we are like that. Not that mummy doesn't get prominence, but in a different balance. So that is what the thought I leave with all of you. Why you do not get so much of prominence as you get as a CA or as a CS. In fact, when I can give you another small example and end my feedback. When I was looking in the factory, I always like that the cost accountant should be in the factory. This is the place where either you make money or you lose money. Who is best suited? I can test, no slight against any professional. If I can talk to a chartered accountant, I could talk to a cost accountant, if I talk to a chartered accountant, he will have very little knowledge about the cost methods, estimates, this and that. Not very little in the sense that I'm comparing these two. And if I have the same thing with the CMA, I can tell you it will be much better than, so if the business depends on the cost and the strategy and everything, why this doesn't get prominence as others get? I was trying to take 2 industrial trainees in our factory. In fact, we had 2 other cost accountants. I talked to all of them. I said, what happens? You can't get 2 inters, CMA or ICWA. We didn't get it. I don't know why. When I look at your figures and things like that, it gives a very contrasting view to me, saying that when you're saying so many, why it is not available? Either they're in much in demand, so supply is less, or we are not able to connect to them. So thank you very much. Thank you very much.
So, my name is Radhika Venugopal. I am the Group Global CFO of OnMobile Global Limited. Our company is into mobile entertainment, and right now we are pivoting into gaming also. So this is a new sector which we have just started, and we are going big into gaming. This is a brief background of our company. We have we are in 60 countries and offices across 25 other locations, and we are having around 40 plus entities. This is the background of my company. So when Raman sir called me, invited me here, thank you for that. He told me that this is to give your inputs on the syllabus of CWA or general syllabus for all professionals, whether it is cost accountants or chartered accountants. So when I qualified way back in May 2004, and when I joined my first company, it was a sea of change from what I had learned theoretically or what I had done during my articleship. The first company which I joined was IFV Bosch, where they expected me to digitally transform. So that was the time when a lot of things were getting implemented. Tally softwares were being replaced by SAP, and all the other stuff was happening. So that was a sea of change, and it was never taught in the syllabus to do the integration. I had to go to all the branches across Kerala, integrate the billing, and that was completely different from what I had learned or practiced during my articleship. Secondly, then my second job was in Vodafone, Voda Idea, and back then, when Voda was, Hutch was being taken over by Vodafone, there was this, we were called to Mumbai office to do this complete merger, acquisition, merger related stuff, doing the entire planning, doing the projection for the next 5 years to see what would be the projected cash flows, which was again not covered in the syllabus. Then again coming to OnMobile, where I've been working for the past 15 years, I joined as a financial analyst and was promoted. Now I'm the CFO of the company. So I was homegrown. So when I think back, what I can see is that from an aspect of our syllabus, whether it is CW or CMA or CA, it does not, finance has to cover some portion of digital transformation or AI related matter in their syllabus. That is number one. Number two, if you see in all these companies, people who grow up to the CFO level are majorly people who started with FP&A, financial planning and analysis. It includes strategy. It includes business partnering. So these are the people, and as a CFO, we are expected to do more of these things rather than do the accounting, the real groundwork accounting, because we have people for that. They will do it. What is expected from us is business partnering, strategical thinking, mergers and acquisition, our inputs on those things. And I don't think either of the institutes cover sufficiently these items. And thirdly, but it is also important, I've also seen that in terms of social skills and public speaking, I've seen that our members, whether it is chartered accountants or CWAs, when they start their career, see, most of these things what I explain now is all on-the-job training for us. It would be better if we can incorporate these in a syllabus, not as a compulsory subject, but as definitely social skills and the way we talk to people, the way we interact, the way we, the public speaking skills has to be improved. So this is my suggestion, and I think these are the things which we should suggest to the institutes and take it. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Muthu Ranganathan. I work at Oracle, and I'm a CMA and finance guy, but last 20 years I've moved on to technology totally. I've been developing technology products, so kind of something different from the audience here. All of you are still finance CFOs and group CFOs, all the kind of things, and but I've moved on to technology line. But in technology, one of the things or the choice I made, I'm also a CA, but the choice I made was the last 20 years, I've been building products in costing and planning, right? Planning, financial planning and costing, cost management. So I don't know if you guys have come across Hyperion. Hyperion was my initial kind of foray. I also worked at SAP for some time, and then I'm in Oracle for the last 8-9 years. Pretty much we focus a lot on how to solve requirements for finance, costing and profitability, and how can that be done in technology, using technology. So we've been engaging and building things over the years, starting with on-premise software, then cloud software. Now AI is the buzz, and how can things keep improving in terms of how to solve things in a better way, how to do things. And but I attribute a lot of my understanding and how basically I'm in a function called product management. I'm sure some of you have come across what is product management. Product management is a very unique function within the product organization, which drives what needs to be built in the product, right? Like in services, it's very straightforward. IT services, customer tells you what to build, and they just go and build that in the product. But here, the product management function is all about telling what needs to be built in the product, and how do you take it forward, how do you use all the new technologies and things like that. So it was very easy, or I would say very interesting for me to, because of my background as one of the other person, he mentioned about how the fundamentals in when you study in ICMAI or the education here, we've got some solid foundation of still I really like the concept of sunk cost. It's a very simple, like easy way to explain sunk cost. Sunk cost is like it's done. Whatever cost, it's done. So there is no point in just looking at sunk cost. So that kind of concept's very fundamental, and I can vouch that when I talk to my peers in the US and others, I'm pretty much very solid. I can go argue and tell them that this is how it should be done. This is how costing works. This is how planning companies would like to do their plannings, or look at the cost drivers to drive their future financial forecast and things like that. So that fundamentals, which I would kind of attribute to ICAI Institute. I completed it back in '94, where in Chennai, again, as you know, all of us who are in commerce group, we'll all go and, as somebody mentioned, we'll all go and do CA, CWA, ACS. I didn't do ACS. I just focused on the, because I'm more a numbers guy, not the law guy. So I completely said ACS is not my thing, but just focused on the, mainly on the costing side of the house And even though I'm a CA, I've never liked accounting so much. Accounting and I'm more into that management accounting kind of thing. So what would be very interesting for from the industry side to the CMA Institute would be that I would really think of getting the students equipped with technology knowledge, given I'm from that background. So it's very important that everyone is really understanding what's going on in the business, in the technology side of the house, and how AI and the future technology is going to impact finance function, the costing function. Very important to take care of that in your curriculum. And then also in the industry kind of gatherings, technology should play a very important role. I'm sure it's already being done. I'm not following since Mr. Gopal just invited me. I just came here after many years. I was so this thing. And I was really happy to meet Mr. Subhashish sir. I worked with him a lot at with ITC Foods, and I don't know where he is. There, he's there. So really very keen to see how we can articulate and get more of the tech piece, because without tech nothing is going to be possible these days, and the finance function, costing function requires a lot. And we do something called profitability and cost management, which really looks at indirect cost allocation back to products, customers. Very important to get your net margin by customer, by product, and things like that. It's an application we have been working on, and it's a niche application and niche thing which customers really love. And that's like the kind of things people in the community needs to, the students and the finance professionals, they need to know all these technology aspects and drive forward things. That would be my request to the institute, and of course be happy to do any further discussion sessions for the institute. Looking forward to hearing from more of you. Thank you.
No, I just invited him only to give a different flavor in terms of the technology knowledge, because he never worked in accounting, though I don't like accounting, but I need to do for my salary.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Ellarigu namaskara. Endaro mahanabhavulu andariki vandanavalu. First of all, I would like to thank Bangalore chapter chairman and his team and Mr. Gopal Raman for informing me and inviting me that there is a one summit like CFO Summit in Bangalore. So I am very thankful to both of them. So I think many of previous speakers, Seinivasa sir? Oh, I'm sorry. Good, thank you. Okay, my name is Chalapati. I am CFO of a company called Dynamatic Technologies Limited. It's a listed company. We are MNC, global MNC. We have companies in UK, Germany, Singapore, and US, and we are also going to start somewhere else, other countries as well. We are into like 3 verticals: aero defense, hydraulics, and metallurgy. So many speakers, previous speakers, many things they've spoken, including starting with sir. Sorry sir, I could not remember your name. He's honorary member in CII. So I'm just trying to connect the dots. So before that, I just want to compliment Mr. Amarnath from DISA. He was saying, institute, there is some tagline, bottom of the banner. Actually, I put it this way: Dhanam Moolam Idam Jagatin. That means bottom line is very important. Always foundation or foundation stones will be in the bottom. So I think something, we should feel proud, or you should feel proud, because I'm the person like with more of optimism always. So having many speakers spoken already, actually I don't want to repeat many things. But nevertheless, I just wanted to touch 2 points like what industry expects from CMA Institute. So it can be like to what industry expects, that is, if we see global economy, India is in 5th place. Okay, we always like, we all know when we'll become like 5 trillion economy, all that. Now we are like just 3 odd or 3.5, whatever it is. And our neighbor, our next competitor always is more than 17 trillion dollars. So that means more than 5 times more than India. But whether we like it or not, we need to compete with them. The reason is simple. Anyway, top it is long time. We don't know any one of us alive by the time India becomes like, a world number 1 economy. However, next, second or third position, second anyway China, we'll keep it aside. Other, if you see other 2 countries, Japan and Germany. So Japan, we all know aging population. Compared to Japan, India is well placed demographically, so it is easy to beat them. And next, Germany, they have their own problems with Ukraine-Russia war, we've been seeing, and we are like sufferers and giving many like, good opportunities to venture into all that. So I'll keep that aside. So this is what like industry, what expects from CMS is like, so like after China, India is the destination actually for manufacturing. We are good in software, like technology, many things, big brains, we all study here, go and settle. If you see all, somebody was mentioning, be Amazon, you see like, IT, BT companies, many of our people are CEOs or whatever you call. But what we should not forget is manufacturing sector. So whatever AL or ML, sorry, AI, ML, whatever we talk, so manufacturing sector is the one which needs lot of focus. So what do you mean by focus means, we need to, India is no more cheaper than China, to be honest. So, but now other countries has no choice than like alternative to China. What is, that is India. So what my expectation from industry is 2 things. One is, I know we all talk about cost reduction, cost control, all that. So we need to see that how we can make Indian industry is compatible with China. So that we should come back, be curriculum or, so I also feel if you see board meetings, so where I'm talking typical, not only paper board meetings, very honestly. There are other board meetings like where you have, take example, listed entities. So we need to have voice or discussion on cost audit reports. Very honestly, many of times, maybe we may be doing okay, everything is fine. But I would feel, I may be wrong because my age is less than, like I'm in mid-40s. The earlier speakers are, who are sitting elders here. My personal feeling is, it is my personal. You should have voice in the boardrooms. Maybe you should make some amendments to the whatever Companies Act or whatever. Cost audit report should be discussed, number 1. Number 2, proactively how, I mean, we all has to work how we can make India as alternative to China, how we can attract investments and make our products are competitive, more competitive than China. So this is one point on industry. Second one is like Nehru, we all, when we are studied, we all know today's children are tomorrow's citizens. We don't know whether responsible citizens or not. But education. So again here, I've just take one example, education system in India and China. What I read, in China, they have only one language, maybe English will be there, of course. So they all study, they will, they will become, technically sound in their area because they spend a lot of money, like more than 3% they spend on GDP, more than 3% of their GDP they spend on R&D. But in India, not even 0.5%. So what I am trying to tell is, so we need to see like, I don't know, Mr. Raman or someone was mentioning like UK, how easy to get qualified as a CFA, whatever you mentioned. We need to make our curriculum little practical and little, I'm not saying easy. So it is so cumbersome. Why I was taking China one language, most of the people, schools or colleges. India, so many languages, people will get confused. And there is a misconception that if somebody knows English, he is very good. That should not be the thing. Second thing is, again, talking about education system, we should compute like CMA. I've seen a presentation earlier, Sir was presenting. So we need to compete like business schools, MBA, CMA, like we should be like, we should be competing big business schools. I'm not talking I am Bangalore or so, but it should be like next to them, because we have industry, relationship. We have like part of like TCM, Sir was mentioning, with CII. So this is actually good platform. So we need to make CMAs more competitive than MBAs of B schools. So this is what I thought of sharing these 2 points. Thank you. It's my apologies. I just wanted to make one more. I joined this company 15 years back. So before joining, actually before going for interview or attending interview, I went and attended interview with Mr. Ramaskanda. So I am very thankful to him and his then student, our Bangalore chapter chairman, Mr. Devaraju. Actually, I am very grateful to both of them. I am here speaking as a CFO in front of you because both of them. Thank you very much, sir, both of you once again. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Sivakumar Umapati from Oracle. Audible? Good evening, everyone. I'm Sivakumar Umapati from Oracle. I report to Gopal. And first, thanks to Gopal for inviting me to this function, because I'm getting back into some institute function after 30 years. So after 30 years, it's a kind of a emotion which goes in me to get back into some institute-related one. And 3 years back, Gopal forced me to get the membership. Though I completed in 1991, I didn't take the membership and other stuff. But he said that what is the requirement. So thanks to him again, because he is my mentor and how to get into the industry, the contribution what we need to make to the society, and also the membership with which, which is a kind of a foundation and fundamental in which we are earning today. So to giving back to the society, I felt that it's also a responsibility. So thanks to that. And apart from that, from my role standpoint in Oracle, I manage the Oracle India, China, and also mergers and acquisition for Asia Pacific. Why it's important, why it's not about the role I function. Why I want to say here is that since we manage things very across the geography and many requirements which are there, and we manage everything sitting out of India. So given that kind of a complexity, the technology plays a very vital role, and also the collaboration skills which we naturally need to, otherwise we can't be sitting and managing things from India, what is happening out globally as well. So given that perspective, it's very critical whether in our curriculum or in our way in which we educate ourselves, the technology and the soft skills apart from the functional skills and the local regulation becomes very critical for us to run our operations. Why I'm saying is that when somebody spoke about India and China as well, and I manage both. So the both two bigger economies in the Asia Pacific region, when we manage, we try to compare, contrast what's happening in these geographies and how we need to position for those things becomes very critical for us to position our roles and how we need to do. And few years, probably 10 years back, when Gopal was in charge of setting up the cost controllers division, because when we acquired the Sun microsystem, we need to take care of the manufacturing, inventory, cost-related items as well. Because predominantly we were the software companies, what we have known. But post that, when we are trying to set up that particular division and the finance department to run those operations, we were responsible to set up the team and recruit the team members. Once we completed the kind of the entire exercise, about 50 to 60 odd people, when we took the statistics, we found that most of them are chartered accountants or from the other industry, very less cost accountants. So the point is not to say it kind of a negative aspect. The point is about the how the system and the visibility and how we create those things needs to be also very clear for us to promote this education. And if I remember now in my coaching classes, Mr. Seinivasa, who used to teach the cost and management techniques, used to say, now we have 3 papers in the CMA for you, means cost and work accountants at that point of time, to clear. Take it from me, in 2 decades, you may not have any paper on cost accounting, but still you will be called cost accountant. That was but now it's good to see that we have close to 4 papers and 400 marks there. But the point, what I would like to maintain is that how relevant it becomes when we need to go back and kind of know in the current situation what we need to do. Because I know that I also start in the last 4 years, I'm reading many things, know what's coming from the institute and other stuff. See, the 2 of the things which is happening is that whether the technology and regulation today are going in the same direction, I always get a kind of a conflict over there. Sometimes technology goes ahead, sometimes regulation goes ahead, and we need to run behind the technology to get something done. And that's where now we run behind the Muthu, who is in the product development team, to get something for us when something requirement, for example, a GST, many kind of requirements were there which comes for us the reporting. So given that, balancing of the technology and regulation as a part of the curriculum, which is very critical, and that's where we can bring in the effective professionalism in place. And the buzzword today is on the ESG. And given that the India manufacturing plan is more, and sure at this point of time, the BRSR requirements from the manufacturing requirements are not that much. I would say minimal when we compare to what's there in the European or from the US standards which are being made. So given that, I see this may be one of the critical area as well, how as an institute also we position, because we see many from the Big Four and other firms also approach us what needs to be done. But that kind of a penetration in this particular area on the ESG, and given that more critical requirements are there from the manufacturing industry as well, I feel that a greater role can be played by the CMA Institute. Okay, thank you.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Shandub Mukherjee, Vice President at United Breweries. First of all, I would like to compliment the cost accounting chapter of Bangalore for this wonderful opportunity. It's really a homecoming for me, and for that, grateful to my good friend Gopal for making it happen. The first activity at my end is to get myself enrolled as a member, as I was sharing with somebody else a few minutes ago, that when we qualified, to get a membership, you need to get somebody signed, or rather 2 members signed. And I've been moving, as the name suggests, I'm from the eastern part of the country, so moving from one state to another, so never managed to catch hold of those 2 members. So now hopefully I know enough friends who would like to vouch for me, and I can certainly share my credentials, my past certificate which I've kept so far. But that's on a lighter vein. Absolutely, sir. Okay.
And soon here you are 20.
Okay.
So I will watch for that, because I was the recent one after exposure. Because it was so easy. So it is very easy. And, and at any age, I think when somebody claps for your job, you feel happy. So I am happy that you feel you clap for me. The whole system of the website changes has been done with the suggestions of Mr. Punjali and Mr. Harshad Deshpande, my president, Mr. Anand, and reminding all people. Every day they used to say, this is done, that would be good, this is done, that would be good. So we have taken input. I normally listen more, okay, so, and implement. So the whole credit, though the claps is for me, the whole credit is for the whole council. So sir, tomorrow I can expect you, by this time, I'll give my card. Please give me your application registration number.
Done, sir. Absolutely.
Sir, I did the address change. I got my management document delivered in the new address. Absolutely seamless.
Thank you, sir.
Fantastic. So I think this is one learning of coming here that you get to know about it. Now, 3 quick reflections on what we've just heard today. The first reflection is people like us who are in the industry, you ask any one of us, the top line is determined by market forces in terms of pricing. The bottom line is basically again determined by the shareholder expectation. So the only thing in your control is the cost. Rest everything is not in your control. Given that, we in the industry, we reach out to consultants time and again to get their perspectives. And you know, any of these consultants will cost you an arm and a leg for the simplest of the assignments. The learning from again coming here is this MOU between CII and the institute. First of all, this we need to spread, and this could be a turning point in terms of engagement of the industry with the institute. That's the first point. Second, coming to the student members, today the numbers which we saw was very impressive. I mean, in terms of the average salary and other things. Till I came here, I didn't know, because I'm also a member of CA Institute and other institutes, but that's beside the point. But the fact of the matter is we need to publish this more often, because I tell you, we are inferior to none with these numbers. So, but that possibly that understanding or that information is not available. Third point is in terms of the ICMAI curriculum, I see there are very good steps which has been taken, like training the students in SAP and so on and so forth. Again, this was something which the industry doesn't know. So that is one thing. In terms of other engagements of the industry, and I can tell you, I would love to volunteer if I could be participating, and this is not the forum to come out, whether it's on sustainability or whole lot of initiatives where as CMA members we can work together and make things happen. But the important point which some other member rightly pointed out is, are you being able to take it to the people in power, in the corridors of power in the North Block? Because till then, I think, not to mention other institutes, they have been marginally ahead of this institute in terms of doing that. And if you are able to crack the magic wand there, the opportunities for this institute is endless. Those are the brief couple of thoughts from my end. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Lalit Agarwal. I'm very honored that I've been invited by the Bangalore chapter for this grand evening. I am a proud student of Dalwadi sir because I did my entire CMA through Ahmedabad Institute, and way back in 1994, I was his proud student. I am working with, so let me just tell me a little bit more about the company. I am working as a CFO for Triveni Turbines, which is a listed company in both the stock exchange. And we are the market leaders in steam turbine globally. And we compete with the multinationals, German multinationals, and US-based multinationals. And we are proud to compete based on our cost and quality. So technology, cost and quality, which has led to this particular position. And I'm just having a degree of CMA. I'm not having any other big degrees like CA or CS. And because of CMA and the overall things, I'm able to reach to this particular position. So I'm very thankful to the institute that it's not about the degree. The degree is required at the initial stage. But what is required is the kind of inputs and the kind of things which the individual gives to the organization, and that takes him to the particular level. Probably I'm really sorry that I'm connecting to the institute almost after 20 years. And you had given me the opportunity to come here and to have a connect with the colleagues and the senior members, and I'm really privileged about it. Few of the things which I would like to inform to my colleagues. I have worked with many good multinational companies like Asian Paints, Cadilla, then Snyder, and now I'm with Triveni. Gone are the days where the accounting role was purely just bookkeeping. All these companies, wherever I have worked, the major focus is business partnering. So business partnering is one thing which all the companies are looking forward, and they require the insights what the individual can bring to the organization. Though I know that a lot of things have been introduced over past few years by the institute, but I think that when I also hire many freshers or even the people who are having the experience of 5 years, 10 years, but the kind of quality which I am seeing the students compared to the other institute, still there is a lot of gap. I don't know whether the gap is because of the inputs which have gone at the initial education stage, or that they are not getting the right exposure in the industry. Because of that, I'm seeing that their gaps still persist. But after they get a right input from the industry, I feel that they are not different compared to CAs or any other, or MBAs, but they are far better if we provide the right input and the right training which is being given to the institute, to the candidate. Another thing which I feel strongly is about the digitization. When I say digitization, the kind of connect or the kind of understanding which the CMA has, especially with respect to all business software, whether it is SAP or Oracle, there they play a very important role. It is more from the analysis and output point of view. It is not from the accounting point of view. Gone are the days where the accounting and entire thing was done in-house. Now everything has been outsourced to a shared service. So accounting is not the requirement. The business, the industry requires the analysis and how they can partner with the business to take it forward. So there I strongly believe that the CMA can play a very important role, because I still in my company 80% of the business partnering role positions are occupied by the CAs. I strongly believe that my career throughout has been business partnering, and I am only a ICWA. So why not ICWA can occupy that position? Because the kind of knack and which the CMA is having during this curriculum, it can be done by the CMAs. Because CAs are probably more inclined towards taxation and accounting, but business partnering is one area which I strongly believe that can be properly taken up by the CMAs. Second is about, third thing which I strongly believe is about specific industry training. What I mean to say is that we are in an engineering industry, and if we are able to design an industry-specific training course, probably that is going to bring us more awareness and brand value of CMA. Right now that is not available. All those things, maybe I'm not aware about it. It may also happen. But if we are able to, Bangalore again is a particular city where a lot of engineering companies, aerospace and other things are, where everything is related to engineering. So if we can design something, training or workshop or something related to that, that is going to increase the brand of CMA. Another thing is I would like to be happy to take some industrial training, because till date I was not aware that the chapter encourages people to have a industrial training for 12 months or 18 months period. I have been being in touch with some of the colleagues, but unfortunately, I was not able to get the candidates, and I was forced to hire the candidates for the CA Institute. But my always preference is that the person has to have a capability, whether it is CA, ICWA, it does not matter. So the important is that he should be having a right skill set. We should be able to groom him and nurture him to the right position. So I think that it's a good beginning. Definitely we are open, and as a company engineering industry, we look forward for a lot of the inputs from the institute. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Good evening, friends. I'm Ranga Narasimhan. First up, thanks to Gopal for inviting us and connecting with the Institute, and thanks to the Institute for the excellent presentation. Today I had the opportunity to go to the Institute in Bengaluru in the afternoon. There was this walk-in, the campus interview which was going on, and I spent a few minutes sitting there interacting with the students just to understand what's happening. It was heartening to know that 140 pass-outs in Bangalore branch, in which there is an all India rank also, 1 or 2, I'm not sure how many. And I, like many said here, first time I went and saw the syllabus today morning. Okay, let's see what it is about. If we have to give some inputs, we should be qualified to give some inputs. So I thought I will see what it is. Fabulous, the syllabus, the coverage, whatever you showed, and whatever I saw in that. It is excellent. I was amazed. I don't know whether I will be able to do it now. If I have to do 92 June I passed. To the extent that I felt this, it's so tough I felt. If you want a honest feedback, if I were a student, whether I will really look at it to do 15 months of mandatory training. We didn't even do 1 day mandatory training, 92 I'm talking about, right? 15 months, is it really required, is one question which I would like to pose, because the subjects are shifting. Transitions are happening on a rapid pace in the world, okay? I can only talk to the context of where I have been. I have been in cities, Chennai, Bangalore, Gurgaon, and all those places, right? So I can only talk to these where I have worked. So the subjects and things are changing so fast that whether it is really, anyway, that is one part of it. Now coming to the other one is branding. Somebody talked about branding initially. I think Mr. Subhash or someone talked about branding. So where do you want to position yourself as an institute? If I'm an employer, I invite CVs. Last few years, or almost a decade, when I look at finance guys, when I'm trying to look at the CVs, CAs, I actually, no disrespect to any institute or whatever, but I felt that CA is a new BCom. CA, I felt, is a new BCom, because absolutely, if, again, in the context where I live, I work in multinationals so far, last 4 stints, right? Cisco, HP, Motorola, now with a group called Fortria Inc., which is into clinical research. But all are in this, IT, ITES, and all those places. So cross-border transactions, international taxation stuff, ERP environment, shared service environment, they are struggling. Including CAs, they are struggling. They are not able to understand. Oh, I am a chartered accountant, I have come, this is my desk, I'm going to sit in this desk, things will come to me. Nothing comes. You need to reach out, you need to interact. And I wouldn't trust on soft skills, because I think that institute also is giving soft skills. This institute also is giving soft skills. In fact, today I was talking to the students. There was a girl called Jansi who was the coordinating lady in that place. She said, last 9 days or 8 days you have been preparing for this campus interviews. Am I right? Preparing the students. That's what they said. Am I right? 12 days, huh? Okay. So, amazing, right? So, everything is given. And then there is a subject called business analytics and something else. And something else, I forgot the name, the prefix, and business analytics. So that is latest, you added that also. SAP, somebody said it added. Everything is thrown in. So I don't know where do we want to position ourselves. Many times, and then the student I asked, hey, did you in 15 months, were you able to sustain this? She said, yes. Did you get paid? Yes. How much? 8,000 rupees per month. So today, 15 months, 8,000 rupees, whether they will be able to do that is, I don't know, whether compared to other, engineering graduates or somebody where 6 months training or, all those stuff, 1 lakh per month is a kind of a stipend they get, right? So where do we want to brand? CWA is thinking that CA is the competitor. Actually, my bosses were not CAs at all. I had a statistician as a boss once. Once I had a doctor as the boss. You can see in AstraZeneca or some company, the CFO of the worldwide is a physician. One of my early stints, like Radhika Venugopal said, am I right? I mean, pronounce your name correctly, madam? Yeah. She said digital state. So 97, I was put into a thing, right, to do fixed assets system in Fox Pro for companies. It should be compliant with the Companies Act, Income Tax Act, and the US GAAP. 1 year torture. I didn't know, there was no specific thing, right? But we had to learn that as a functional concept. The software guy doesn't understand, so 1 year. Then I went into some HTML-based development of a billing system, which I installed in China, Malaysia, and all. Can you believe? I have also sold some shirts, pants, and Arvind, I opened the shops 10 days and all those things. So being a CA, we did this, or CMA, we did this, we don't know. So where do you want to do branding? A CA is a competitor, you are thinking. CA is thinking MBA is a competitor. MBA is thinking somebody else is a competitor. CS, the competitors, lawyers. Lawyers are practicing corporate stuff. Christ University is offering integrated course on corporate laws. So that is another one. So branding is one. Where do you want to position? And many people have told a couple of things which I want to re-emphasize. Business partnering is a very key thing. Accounting is all now, can be done outsourced and stuff like that. So business partnering is something which you may want to do. Service industry, so far I've not seen many CMAs applying or being there or so in the service. I'm talking about the IT-enabled services and stuff like that, GBS, Global Business Services or Shared Services. Now I want the institute to also look at the emerging trends. For example, GCCs, Global Capability Centers, is a huge 35 billion market as we speak today. That's what it's generating, okay? Of course, it is playing at a little higher level than the GBS or the traditional shared services. But do you have something to tap into that? You may want to see what kind of things. Data analytics is one area which you may want to arm the CMAs, because CMA data is the new oil, they say, and data is the one which you can be armed and actually challenge. If you have to be a cost accountant, somebody said, hey, I'm the go-to person for any cost, one gentleman said. But if you have to do nowadays, you need to have the data analysts and the skills, data science skills, right, to build in. So to some extent, there is a business statistics we all learned, but now it has taken the shape of a data analytics. So that is something which you may want to think whether how do you want to build it in the curriculum. To some extent, these are like engineering skills. And then the last one which I want to mention is the business management. Somebody said, I want to compete with IIMB. I think it's, yes, you have to compete with IIMB. I feel so. Because the timeless skills, see, now is the era of skills is what I understand from LinkedIn, whatever I see. The general management stuff is very, AI, they say, will do decision making because it is unbiased. The human is biased, so AI will do decision making, they are saying, which means it will eliminate in the value chain. Instead of going up, we may have to go down to do skill learning. That's what they're saying. I don't know whether true, false, real, a threat or whatever, okay? But if that is the case, right, then do you have to go to a business school to do that? But if you build that business management skills, in intensity, right? Then what people can understand, what we see suffer, the guys suffer is that they are not able to connect the dots. They are not able to understand the bigger picture, right? So business management is something, general management, if you want to build it with quality, that will also be a good, from my end, that will be an input. With that, I will close my points. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Vashish Ghosh. I am from ITC Limited. Now, we have discussed many things about the prospect of this institute, its students, curriculum, and the future. But one thing we must not forget, that in that particular bench, there are some past presidents who were there, who built the foundation for all of us. And there is one more gentleman who actually dragged me into this. He's no more with us. Kunal Banerjee. And I remember our association of ITC with Cost Institute and the cost accountants started with CAS 4. I don't know, all of you must be knowing that accounting standard. And that was the, what I should say, the cash cow. And when Mr. Gopalakrishnan and Kunal, they pulled me into the accounting standard board. And then at that time, IFRS was happening. Companies Act was also getting drafted. So we were all on the crossroad of many things. And thanks to Mr. Gopalakrishnan, he's our cost auditor, obviously. And we started creating a lot of framework. And that was a very exciting moment for me. Obviously for me and for ITC. And ITC predominantly kind of backed the institute, and association goes back, I think from 85 or 84, if I may remember right. And from there, we started drafting all the standards. How many standards finally we concluded? 24 or 25, I think. Oh, now 30, okay. I left it at 24 and then I had to move out. But so therefore, I'm only saying that this is an institute which is not on the same, what I should say, trajectory like any other MBA institute or any other organization or institution which are churning out people with a limited skill set, because this is actually formed by Parliament Act. So therefore, when a guy is passing out, when a person is passing out from the institute, they actually carry a lot of responsibilities. Like when a medicine practitioner actually moving out, they take an oath. So similarly, that responsibility we must have, not only to the institute, and the responsibility is also to the society and to the organization. And my humble submission is that there are some of my friends and my fellow cost accountants who have not yet registered. I would still recommend and urge them strongly that they must come to the institute and see the new face. Because the journey that I started, remembering my first result in Sadar Street, it used to be on the pillar. The printout used to be on the pillar, and in the first pass I missed out my roll number. So I thought I've missed out. This time, next time again I have to write the exam. Compared to that, the kind of digital transformation that institute has done, and when we are talking about digital transformation, which is obviously a buzzword for all of us, I see there he is now copiously typing, and he got 4 digital devices. So that actually indicates the kind of involvement of the council members to transform this institute. It is no longer an institute which is only doing compliances. So my point is, we have to all come forward and put our best foot forward to do something. It is always easy for us to take a step back and say, okay, we could have done this, we could have done that. We always compare with other fellow members and fellow professionals. Yeah, it's like a journey. Somebody can move faster, somebody can move a little slower, but yeah, we are there. It is not that we have lost the race. And I must compliment all our past presidents, because they have done phenomenal job to actually give us a podium where we are standing and at least addressing. And we are proud for all that. I should say that let us thank them profusely for what we are. Thank you, sir, once again.
My name is Naveen Bhatia. Very good evening to all of you, ladies and gentlemen, and the respected chairman. I am here today because of Gopal. He's a dear friend who was with me at Oracle. I spent almost 22 years of my career with that organization. So thanks for me having here. So I would like to have, sharing few perspectives on how the industries, I know we talked a lot about AI, ML technology. I'll take a step back. So I work for an organization today called as Infinera. And what we do is we actually power the internet, right? So that is something which has become a new utility today, right? We talk about gas, we talk about electricity, but internet is another utility. Without internet, nothing is going to work. You're not going to have your data centers, neither going to have technology, no AI, no ML, nothing. So we propel the internet, and we manufacture those devices where we supply to these telecom companies, and they help in, it helps them to decrease the internet cost, at the same time increase the bandwidth around the world. So that's the space we are in. So I manage their global shared services based out of Bangalore. At the same time, also the senior finance director for their entire Asia Pacific region. Prior to these organizations, I would take my memory back to my first organization where I do associate myself more as a cost accountant. So I did my cost accounting. I was in Delhi. I saw at the chapter there was a opportunity with an organization called as a Cadbury, which today we call as Mondelez. I applied for it. Those days, of course, there's no internet, nothing. And I did apply through a letter. I received a letter back my home that, hey, you are invited for an interview. I was thrilled. I was called to Gwalior. That's where Cadbury had their own, automated plant in India. So I went there. I patiently waited for entire day. In the there were many interviews happening. So in the evening, they took me to the factory. The smell of chocolate was itself a delicacy for me that time. Finally I got selected. That was my first job as the youngest employee in that factory, being a cost accountant. And I was called, rather than a cost accountant, more of like a cost finance officer for them, because I was responsible for their report, which was called as a company commercial report, CCR. And I used to produce that report religiously every month before time, where I had all the numbers around my overheads, my variances, my entire inventory, my production. That was an aha moment for me, that immediately after doing cost accounting, I work in a factory and I get an exposure of which we were just having a bookish knowledge. End of every month, there used to be a board meeting where, again, I was very young. I used to be, participate in that board meeting. And the factory manager, he used to be always looking forward to this report, because this is where, he could make a difference. Once, I think in a month, we had a spillage of something called as a cocoa butter, which goes into chocolate. And that is where they were trying to figure out that, how do we adjust and all that. And as a cost accountant, of course, I had a lot of inputs for them as to, what should they do and ensure that, some of these things are taken care. But anyway, I mean, this was my experience with them. So I'm really thankful to, the institute. Today I am here because of them, and that's where my journey started. After that, I worked with many organizations like Seagram's, which was a liquor organization. Then a longest stint with Oracle, almost 22 years with them. Then I had a stint with Cathay Pacific Airlines. Again, a different kind of an exposure. I was based out of Hong Kong. And then I joined Bank of New York Mellon. Again, a very different perspective, you know, a banking industry, or, you know, they are into something very different. Custodian of so-called all the, you know, those stocks. And today I'm with Infinera. So, you know, throughout my journey, yes, one thing has been a theme. I know Ranga talked about today's scenario where cost accountants are not just cost accountants, but I think as an institute, my advice would be that we need to see that how do we overall groom our new cost accountants? You know, how do we have the overall grooming? You know, when it comes to, okay, I call shared services, I call GCC, I call GBS, you know, are they aware of it? As an institute, when we join any organization today, the ask is that these organizations are global. So how do we overall groom our, you know, newbies into the system where these people are actually global? You know, they just don't think very narrow as to, okay, I work for an Indian company and X, Y, and Z. No. I think even Indian companies are going, you know, beyond the boundaries, or geographically they are positioned everywhere in the world. So we are global today, you know. I also know we all talked about different dynamics in terms of different markets, you know, whether it is China or India or any other. Who knows? I mean, tomorrow, yes, we want to be number one, but at the same time, I think we should be cautious that that it is not us who are trying hard. Of course, there is world sitting out there, and they do have their aspirations in all these you know, countries, whether it is Germany or still China. You know, they're working hard to, you know, still be number one. So we got to be having a global, you know, we need to groom our students. They can have a global reach. They should be overall, you know, groomed from a today's industry perspective, and be ready for tomorrow. I think that's my request to the chapter or the institute. Apart from that, I would also say that there is one thing which has always troubled me. People say, oh, you are a CMA. Sometimes they mistook me as a US CMA. They will think I'm a US CMA. You know, me working with an American organization, they think I'm a US CMA. And then suddenly there's a thought that, oh, it's inferior to CPA in US, right? So I don't know, what should we do more so that our branding, our name, our presence around the world is very unique. Is very, very unique. You know, people know us by our uniqueness. We should not be judged by, you know, why this is not a ACCA or even a same name coined as a CMA. You know, we should be different. We really should be, you know, differently called and known for. At the same time, I would say that we are not less than anybody. We are not less than anybody. You know, it is the same effort which we need to put, or in fact, sometimes I feel that we have to put more effort than some of these international degrees, you know, which people take. So that's what makes me wonder that, you know, why are we less than them? We are actually more, or not even par, more than them. So we need to, I think, build our brand more stronger. That's my humble request. At the same time, there's one more thing which I want to request the institute is that, you know, how can we make our entire curriculum or exams more flexible? You know, which will make us compete with all these ACCAs and CPAs in the world. Today we have the same concept. Oh, exams in 6 months, you have exam every day, and you grill yourself 4 days. You can't actually choose when you want to give your own exams. So I think we got to become more flexible in when should I choose, when should I give my exam, which exams can I give at when, what time, which day. Those kind of opportunities should be introduced. You know, let's get out of this little mundane kind of a way that every 6 months we should have, been giving more opportunities, you know, for our so-called as new gen. You know, today we should also remember that why our new gen, you know, are getting attracted toward these international degrees. What can I do, or what can we do so that they get attracted more towards our degrees, where we are conceptually more stronger than them. So this is where I feel it can make a difference that, yes, we are a little economical from, international degrees, but we got to be more flexible. I think flexibility is something which should be, looked at. So this is another, aspect I would say. And last but not the least, I think everybody also talked about how important is technology. Now, I have a very different perspective. Though at Oracle, I was actually honored to be part of their $1 billion journey, where I was instrumental in setting up their shared service center in Australia, and then bringing a lot of work back to India, and then running, large organizations as one of their business leaders in India. But one of the things which I learned there was I got an opportunity to implement Oracle systems within Oracle. Now, how it helped me because of the two things. One is I was open to do something new. And secondly, I had a very strong background because of my qualification and experience and learnings which I had in my prior organizations. So because of that, I would say one thing, that no technology is bad. It's not Oracle, it's not SAP, it's not FoxPro, nothing, It's how it is implemented. So I think when we choose our curriculum, we should not be very specific on that it should be SAP or Oracle or anything. The curriculum should be such that our students know how important the technology is, maybe bring a flavor of the latest few of them, right? So no technology is bad, it's how they're implemented. I think that's where the problem is, right? So that's another angle I think we should think about it, rather than giving a focus on A company or a B company or a C company. So that's my another humble request. And then I think lastly, I would say that we need to move fast. We extremely need to move fast, because the world is evolving. Whatever we talk today, I mean, it should not be that it takes another 10 years to think about it and execute and go to the parliament and make things happen. It's a world of agility, how fast I am, because we don't know who is actually faster than us, who is behind us, and they will just move ahead of us. So with this note, I would like to thank all of you to patiently listening me, and I look forward to meeting you all again. Thank you so much. Yeah.
So just give me a minute. I think the last gentleman must be you or anybody else. Anybody else apart from Mr. Gopal Ramanan? Anybody else? Sir, it is 2017. So I would like the House to decide on the end time of participant speaking, because we will need another 5-10 minutes after that. So we want to give our reflections, because we have been noting down. What time we should go for dinner? At that point, everybody is free to get up and go for dinner, even when somebody is speaking. Is that clear to all of you? So please tell me what time we will go for dinner. No, what times are? How many minutes later nahi hai question. 8:30 to hoga nahi, sir. He has to speak, he has to speak. Since we are the organizers, we also will have the liberty to speak now. So can we put it as 9 o'clock? 8:55, 8:50? 8:45. We have 27 minutes to go, right? So I have got a stopwatch. Exactly at 8:45, I will come here and say thanks to the chair and thanks to all of you. Clear? Thank you very much. Because the last speaker said we will have to move fast.
Hello. Yeah, I will not take much time. I'll just close it in 5 minutes so that we can go move fast. No. So, yeah. I'm Raghuram. I work for Otis Elevators as a general manager of finance. I'm heading the factory finance here. And apart from that, with my knowledge and experience and all, I was promoted as a director of finance, APAC operations from 1st April onwards. So yeah, I want to tell that many of the people explained, saying that how it is going on. So there is no more reporting. Regular reporting and all is like old things, and down the level people are doing, and it is only few days of the work for the CFOs or who are heading the finance departments, but more of business partnering. That is what is going on in the total area, and the strategic advisor. So if you see in my company, when I do that, most of the time I drive saying that what should be my shipments, or what should be the cost reductions, or what savings needs to be done, or how much, and make or buy decisions, how much it needs to be done inside, or how much needs to be outsourced, or what needs to be done. We drive the business. We drive and we explain the engineers of what needs to be done and execute to make sure that the bottom line met by the end of the month. So that's how which we do that. And the next one is from the institute one. I see many times saying that if I want a candidate, if I want a candidate of 5-6 years of experience with a good costing knowledge, I don't get that. So there is we are lacking with that such type of experience in the market. So I send a resumes, I call Kaushik or Bert or saying that please can you go ahead and put it in the system and ask for resumes. I don't get much resumes. I get even from the institute, I get some accounting resumes, but not the costing resumes. So that is the area I think we are lacking, and we have to improve that. And from the chapter side, I advise saying that we need to do a lot of marketing and see who are all the people who are there in the market, who are working in the costing department or in industries, collect their resumes and put that so that it will be useful for the other companies, or for our career itself it will be grown, and also for the companies and all. So that's what is my advice, to make sure that we do that. And industrial trainees, even I take the industrial trainees as and when required from the institutes. But the thing is we require more of the industrial training needs to be done, and encourage everyone. So saying that take the people from the institute, call the institute, and then take the people and do that. But I request the institute to prepare, to keep the resumes, do the marketing, make sure that who is working, where they are working, the professionals, and collect their resumes and keep that so that it will be useful for their future careers. That's all. Thank you.
First of all, I would like to say a big thank you to all my friends and who have accepted and come in a very short period of time. In fact, last Sunday evening around 6 o'clock when TC.A called and said, I need CFOs. And I banged on you, and you never let me down. Thank you once again. In fact, I've given a lot of feedback to the chapter as well as the council many a times on what we need to do. One is that, as we all discussed, first of all, people don't know what a CMA is, first of all, right? Only those who passed or who studied knows what a CMA is. There are LinkedIn, which I don't see the institute is active at all. In fact, where is our guy who now is a member now? Ranjit, who is the one who runs the Bengaluru chapter. He always reposts my post sometimes, right? We need to do the marketing very well in terms of this one. And as we rightly say in all those stuffs, right, I saw Nandi's presentation saying that diversity. Today, if you look at this hall, how many people we have? And we need to get more people, and more people are there, but the thing is, like, we need to get the industry vibrant one. And coming back to the institute, now that they are in the diversity space, they are done. What we have to do is something that we look at. One is that branding, and second, we need to tell the people what's happening, because some of the things today, what we collate as a cost details, is being done by all the systems. So tomorrow the role may be even redundant. Luckily we don't have students here, so that they don't desert the course and then go. We are all members, and we have been settled in the industry. But for the institute, what we have to do, for example, if you want to do something, the data visualization, whatever tool that you use, today it should be the data visualization, which is more a management report. I always say in the CMA, the institute is focused more on the C, not on the M. If you want to be a CMA, you need to look at what the management wants, as people said, the business partnering and all. Why the cost accountant who is in practice should do only the cost sheet and cost audit? Why can't they do the management consulting? But I don't see that it's happening. Whenever they come, what is the cost audit I can do for you? What is that opportunity I have? What institute can do for me to get more opportunities? Once you are called a consultant, you have umpteen number of things to do. As Siva mentioning, like ESG is another area where I don't know how many of you are getting into that in the institute. I know SP Gupta ji is into the ESG when I discussed with him, and luckily I got into connect with Ashish Tatte, who is into the sustainability standards. Even last couple of weeks we had ESG calls, which is a global one. I can tell you because I'm driving globally the ESG for Oracle. It's not that easy, and when it comes to the scope 1, scope 2, scope 3, we all say that, okay, Chinese people don't want in the Europe and the US when it comes to CSRD or the Europe Union things, but at the same time Indians also don't have that much score, ESG score on that one. Okay, not that when they reject China, they come to India. We also don't have that much score. And how we as a cost accountant and then capturing these data, of course system does, maybe Muthu does this one, and we have a tool for ESG itself which pulls the data from the ERP and then projects all those stuff. No need for any manual intervention. All these data are done, but what next? We need to do the analytics, which the institute should do more in terms of the data visualization, analytics, which they can present to the management. So that is more important, where we can focus, because most of the stuffs what we are teaching, tomorrow it will be done by the machine or the AI. So that's my 2 cents, and thanks. Once again, thank you all my friends and who are coming in a very short span of time, and thanks to the institute and thanks to the Bengaluru chapter and the Central Council for making the first CMA summit in Bengaluru. Thank you.
Friends, thanks for all of you coming. So I would like to thank our president, who is there right from beginning. I don't know how many of you have watched. He didn't stay only for the inauguration and vanished. No, he's there. President, thank you very much. And thanks to other council members who are staying with me. Past presidents we were talking of cost drivers, cost drivers, cost drivers. We have also drivers who drive us to do excellent job. So thanks to both of them, elders. In fact, when I touched the feet of GME, he said, you should not do. Sir, I am such an old man now, I am trying to find out who will give me blessings. Because now everybody takes blessings from me. Now I've tried to find out. So the moment I get an opportunity, I add some blessings in my kitty. So thank you, sir. And a special thanks, where is he? Where is Devarajulu? Special thanks to Devarajulu and all the Bengaluru team members. Can you please get up? All Bengaluru chapter members, can you please get up? Along with that, Mr. Gopal Ramanan, will you stand up on the bench? Devarajulu, we are giving a standing ovation to you and your team, including the support staff, everybody. I have a very special thanks to someone who always loves me. Mera samne saab kade hain. So he was the first one, along with Mr. Gopal Ramanan, sent me the list of participants. And people, Mr. Vishwanath Bhatt called me. So I think Girish also was wondering why the hell I have not called anybody. In fact, I was waiting for the flyer, sir, thank you sir, flyer to go on. And then yesterday I talked all of them. I talked to JNV, I talked to Gunjali, I talked to, because he was coming, I talked to Vishwanath Bhatt, I talked to you. Because I was waiting for complete arrangement, flyer should go, speakers should definite. I asked him, he said all of them are coming, then I called. For one person, I will need a standing ovation, that is Mr. Nandi. Sir, he speaks very less because he always remembers I give an end time for everything. So, if you really look at it, there are many people who have done, I am not taking the name. I have completely ensured that the Bangalore chapter, I again repeat, Bangalore chapter individually, maybe you can go on with giving name. In fact, I asked Vice Chairman, why you have not come today? Did I ask you or not? Had he not come, I would have sent a vehicle, pulled him out from the house. I would have done that. So thank you very much, Vice Chairman, Secretary, Mr. Abhijit, and the ladies who came. I think it is quite late, but they are still there. So thank you very much. And apart from thanking, I have something to reflect. Everybody, I am very happy that people got connected back, many of you. So this connection should not be again become at the back burner. I request all of you to help us, because you wanted our students to become this, students to do this. So please contribute towards the students' future. Many of us have gray hat, so somehow we have come up. So let us take our students to our level, number one. And whoever has not become member, please become member. The end time is tomorrow evening. And we have a journal which gets published every month. I do not know how many people see it. And I have not seen any one of your name there. Unless I have forgotten to read your name in any of the journal. So, if all of you, hey Babu, 1 minute here. How 14 minutes. ठीक है? नहीं तो तुम इधर आके बात कर. एक ही आदमी बात करना है हॉल में. 50 आदमी बात करेगा कैसे? You have given all suggestions. Now let us walk the talk. We wanted an industry connect. We have walked the talk. Our council members are there. Our president is there. Okay. So we want articles from you. We want all your knowledge to be shared to all of us. Because put together, I think we must be having thousands of years of experience in this hall itself. Just imagine if each of you write one article per year, how much of this one? Otherwise, we get articles mostly as a springboard for getting PhD degree. All right? And Industry Connect, there is a separate portal we have made in the website. How many people have seen? Achha, I will ask the other question first. How many people have gone to our website in the last 4 days? Please raise your hand. Baki ka dinner time ho gaya na? Now there is a Industry Connect portal. If you go there, why Mr. Nandi was, why I requested a ovation for Mr. Nandi, if you go and look, then you will understand what I am talking. Because seeing is believing, go there and seeing. Since there is a proverb, seeing is believing, we are now giving the latest edition of Industry Insights to all of you. Because we waited to listen to you and then give. When we leave, you will get that. And there is one wonderful article by Mr. M. Gopalakrishnan in that, because there will be a series of articles in the related subject. So industry, we have done 5 editions, and 5 editions connected with the steel, coal, metro rail. This edition is on shipbuilding, agro we have made. Even if you don't know the industry, we have put flowcharts, we have put lot of articles and all. Please go through that. And we have got another 720 seconds. So before President comes in and says, I would like to get the blessings of 2 past presidents and AAP, sir. Thank you very much. Jai Hind. All the very best. Happy Holi.
Good evening to you all, or before say good night to ladies and gentlemen. My good friend Ashwin, President of the Institute, Mr. Anand, who was my colleague during my President, Mr. Gopalakrishnan, past President, Central Council members who have come all the way from Bombay, our own Gunjali, and Regional Council members, and my own chapter members. I am a CFO of 80s and 90s. I have a 46 years of service, 26 years of practice. That means 64 years. CMA qualification is sustainable if I am living today. Because for the last 64 years, I have connection with this institute. Today, if I am able to talk to the few CFOs, our qualification, as somebody said, I am a core CMA only. Oh. Maybe I have some other qualification, but no other professional qualification. If I am coming and standing before you at 84 and talking to you on the current subject, it is the basic fundamentals of CMA, what is taught. Nandi must be changing the syllabus every now and then. That is for 1950 syllabus was done for that time. Up to 90 syllabus was different. Afterward, the world economy opened. I was CFO when the world economy opened. I was CEO also. But sustainability came because you have got a fundamental knowledge. You have to be there even for that period. And I am able to serve today in 2024. That is the, somebody said it very clearly, irrespective of anything, that fundamental knowledge you gave, a gentleman who has worked for all over the world. I have also seen all over the world and I had a discussion, everything. Your basic footing is given by the Sadar State. CMA is the core thing, and they are continuing to do this. Even today, we are not sleeping. We want to leave for tomorrow. 2 minutes I will take. 2000, Y2K. I'm a member also along with this, President of Bangalore Management Association. Mukesh Ambani, Narayan Murthy said 2 things. What are you giving qualification? What are you doing today? Will they able to sustain to serve another 10 years what the industry changes are taking place? Please update your this thing, that's what they said. That is true. A person who got qualified in 60s is able to survive in 24 means a fundamental knowledge is there. Our institute continues to do that thanks to the present council and the president who has listened to all of you will take care of it. I am sure sustainability will be there till 2047. Our Modi ji wants to say India leading. Thank you very much.
Good evening. It has been one of the most wonderful sessions what we had today. Mainly the format and content rather designed by the members in industry committee as well as the Bangalore chapter. In fact, my connection with the CIA as a part of their TCM national committee, myself and CMA Trivengadam, both of us are mentors. Mr. Raman actually laid the entire foundation. Of course, I was associated along with Raman when he started the movement sometime in 1997 where Mr. Seinivasa, who was the CMD of TVS, he was actually triggering the entire exercise, saying that the CAA concentrated on quality and delivery, starting the Institute of Quality as well as the Institute of Logistics. But what about cost? Automatically, he gravitated towards the Costing Institute, and in one of the first meetings, I also happened to be the chairman of the Southern India Regional Council, so both myself and Raman went and attended, and it was really a wonderful session. Of course, to cut the long story short, he actually took the first step, and then it progressed, and the TCM maturity model was provided by one more leader who was from the IT industry. It was Mr. Mahalingam, who was the CEO of TCS. When he got involved as a chairman of the TCM National Committee, he said that like the maturity model what we have for the software industry, we should also look at the total cost management maturity model. And in the last 2 years when I have been very closely associated, I could see that the entire cost management system in most of the industries, I think the CAA has assessed almost about 150 companies on maturity model, and about almost 60 juries have been associated with the assessment of the levels of the model. Out of that 150, I think around 10 companies have reached the top level 5. Of course, some of them were initially at a lower level, but once they reach it, then over a period, they actually improved upon the entire system and then reached the level 5. Level 5, to put it in a nutshell, it talks less about the historical cost. It talks more about what is happening now and at present. That is what is generally called as a desk cost, and what is going to be happen in future on the cost terms. That is the predictive or target costing. And all these companies, the companies whom you have been associated, companies like them, people like you have been associated, and they have developed the TCM architecture, an implementable architecture based on the actual implementation they have done in their companies. No. That's what they have done. What I appeal to you is, see, we have taken the first baby step by signing the MOU. I thank President Ashwin Dalwadi. As soon as he took over the president, when I mooted the concept, he was after me almost on a day-to-day basis. At night, 9 o'clock, I used to get a call from him. Gopalji, what are we are going to do about the CAA, ICMAI, MOU? You have been talking about that for long. Then we put it in the National Committee. Mr. Girish Wagh, who is the chairman of the TCM National Committee, he is the executive director of Tata Motors. Both Mr. Thiruvengadam and Mr. Asim Mukhopadhyaya, both of them put their weight behind. Of course, there were quite a lot of discussions on how a professional institute can be involved in this, but they put their weight behind. But now what I want is, in carrying it forward, the most important thing is people like you, who are actually one of the CEOs who have got a 360-degree approach. One thing what I could see from the discussions what we had so far, you talked about the business partnering. That is actually a buzzword. It is not a buzzword, but it is actually the DNA of the entire total cost management movement. Even when we go for the assessment, the CAI team is very careful that they take only one finance professional. All the others, about 4 or 5 of us are involved. All the others are from different streams. Some from the IT stream, some from the supply chain, some from the new product development, and one domain expert who is actually fully expert in that particular industry. As a result, we are able to get some of the best. This one. Of course, most of the companies who have got the assessment, they have come back to the CAA saying that we want to go for a reassessment and then see how, in what way we have improved, which are the areas which we have improved. And all these have been triggered not by anybody else, but by CFOs. Most of the CFOs are now part of the jury team. So I also appeal to you, I think the members in industry committee, CMA Seinivasa Prasad will take it forward. There will be one more meeting where it will be a CII ICMAI meeting, where it will be focused on CFOs who can actually become a partner along in the TCM journey, as a part of the assessment model. And they are also taking it, they are not stopping only with the industry, the large industries, but they are also taking it to the MSME Connect. At present, almost about 150 MSMEs who are part of the supply chain of Tata Motors, then other Lupin Laboratories. So many, almost about 4 or 5 companies there. It is parallelly going on. Today, Mr. Nagesh Babu, who is the principal counselor, he was to address, but he has got tied up with the MSME initiatives. He thinks he is sitting somewhere in Jamshedpur. But in the next meeting, it will be a full session where the entire concept, Mr. Thiruvengadam, he said that due to want of time, you could not go into the technicalities. But the technicalities, all those things will be discussed. And I am sure that many of the CFOs who are participating here, who will become tomorrow, who will be like I am talking to you, you will be talking as one of the mentors from this side to the future, because you are the ones who actually own this entire system. Like a software professional owns the software system, the cost management system has to be owned by the finance professionals, whether they are qualified CMAs or CAs or even from any other qualifications. Okay, that is actually the basic aspect which the council as well as the president have also taken it as one of the major initiatives. And another thing is, since ICMAI is in the, they have almost 90% of the members are from the industry. And I am sure that we will be able to take it forward. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. President, sir, we would like to listen to you before we have one more speaker from our council, and thanks. President, please.
See, throughout this program, I was really amazed that we have got a pool of experts who can help us. And this will definitely yield a good result in the near future. And I tell you, our council's decision to transfer our headquarters from Kolkata to Delhi has started paying its result in a positive manner. I would like to share with you that on this next March 28th, Secretary MCA has consented to address our council at Delhi. So it's a positive step and we are marching towards that. And I'm sure the suggestions made today, we will be going through and start doing it, implementing it as far as possible very quickly. Because in this council, we have got an approach that when we got a message from Bengaluru chapter, when we were there, we got a suggestion that institute is not having a clearly explicit, well-known system to express the issues or grievances in the system. So within 7 days, the institute has come out with a grievance committee and it is now functioning and details are available on the website. So this was the suggestions which received at Bangalore. One more suggestions we had received, and I'm thankful to Suresh Gunjaliji that we received a suggestion that MSME is a really budding sector and we need to play a big role there. And one suggestion was there that most of the schemes which are being offered by different states are in a vernacular language or local language. So why can't we have a compendium in a one language combining all different schemes of different states? And I'm happy to announce one more thing, that Sri Sureshji has completed and his team has completed this job. And from during next council meeting on 28th and 29th and 30th, we will be finalizing and providing you for the consumption of our members. Thank you.
Mr. Deshpande.
Yes. So good afternoon, friends. I'm Harshad Deshpande. I'm a council member from West. In fact, when I saw the flyer, maybe 2 or 3 days back, but the content, what it made me travel here, and I'm really glad that it was quite a pleasant evening, a lot of takeaways. So I'm grateful to our president for such initiatives, and committee chairman Prasad sir. He is the man of action, and the way he delivers the timeliness is something that we are amazed, and literally something to be learned about. So friends, I'm just touching about the few, I will put it, the takeaways. So the one pointer is, I think all of you will agree that the time has to be focused more on the M than the C side. So we have to more on the management side than the cost. So you have to forget about the traditional way of thinking. So that is the one takeaway I have taken. Then a second is very nicely elaborated by one of our speakers, is that let us look beyond chartered accountants. We are not chartered accountants. We don't want to be a chartered accountant. So we are different. Let us be different, and let us focus what we can do rather than what they are doing. Let them do whatever they want. Public reporting, public accounting is a separate forum and separate this thing. So let us not get more unnecessary directed. We today are here discussing about, but the CA community, they themselves finding it very difficult in the time of AI. I'm working in the insolvency and valuation domain, so we are having a lot of common council committees and these things, so wherein we interact, and they have their own challenges. So let us not think about them. Let us think about ourselves and where we stand. The third point is the agility. Okay, so I think this is one more takeaway, that we need to be agile. So this technology has given us a great opportunity. For example, as I told, that I'm into the valuations and insolvency. So I have to look beyond accounting. So there is no obstacle. Like, President has entrusted me the job of agri cost management. Initially when I started, I was a bit struggling. Now what I understand is that agri cost management, in that we are many times going, we are not here, we should be there, and CA should be, should be at par. But in agri cost management, I find that there is no CA. So what a better opportunity can be. So you directly forget accounting. Technology has given us the advantage that you go beyond accounting, go to straight away, take them to the management accounting, or maybe even deeper. So that is, I think, one point. Definitely all of you will agree that these capabilities we have, and let us bypass the blockages what are being placed, and reach to the destination quicker time. Somebody saying that we have to be fast. You never know, you could be the fast person who is catching up the others who are in the queue. So we want to be that fast person. Then the fourth point is that the branding. Okay, very important. But I say that today maybe 30-40 odd CFOs are there. Sir, you are our brand. We don't need any other brand than you yourself. So just my humble request to all of you is that, sir already said that you contribute articles, you contribute. Why don't you write about your own these things, your expertise, this thing. And we don't want this to be internal circulation. See, even though you put it management accountant, okay, very good reach, but we want this to be in a social media. We want our members to be on the bigger platforms. Let the world know that what our CFOs and the MDs and this thing they are doing. So we want to cross that barrier, and we have to look beyond this thing. So fortunately, on the digital platform, I'm good. So LinkedIn, I think you must have seen that many of you have already sent a request. So I think I'm the highest followed person, 42,000K plus followers are there. So I want to give that reach to our members, that it is, so it can bring the wonders. And I believe that you are our brand ambassadors, you are our hands. So instead of, we internally also know that challenges what we are facing, and there are certain limitations. So we have to look beyond that. So if you just give 5 minutes of your daily life. 5 minutes, sir, not more than that. That is good enough for, sir. We can do what you are saying in a very, very effective manner. So this is my humble request to all of you. Just spend 5 minutes and you will see the difference next time perhaps. When we'll meet, we would have seen the change what has happened. The fourth point is that thanks to our president that this leadership we are listening council. Okay, we want to listen more than what we speak. So we are listening. So any issues, any points is there, we are always reachable. So that is something very, very, I feel that unique about this council. Our even senior members like MK Anand sir, Prasad sir, they are, you know, they are listening. So this is a beautiful, I think, way of communication. So we are there to understand your problems and we'll try to resolve as much as possible. And the last and the most important point is the placement. Many of you raised these queries. So placement, and if you need any trainees, if you need any cost accountants, experienced or any level, my humble request that kindly just put me on the LinkedIn. I will promise you 100 resumes in a day. Okay. If it is less than 100 is, then it is, I take my words back. Okay. Because see, it's not big deal, sir. It's just for me, it's a 2 minutes job. But ultimately it benefits somebody, you know, unknown. I don't know who there. I was amazed in Bangalore. I first time came here. Even before coming to council also, I have been able to Bangalore. But you know, so hundreds of students meeting me and you know, they recognize me. So it gives a lot of great feeling to me. So my humble request, let us not, you know, burden the chapters and this thing. Let us, we ourselves do it. Okay. So, and you will see that this change happening. So do kindly do let me know that in case you have any vacancies with respect to trainees, with respect to anything, and also that you know, some of your case studies you would like to take it forward, that would be something I will be really proud of. We are having a lot of good creators, we are having a lot of good stories. So let the world also know that what lies, what we are seeing inside this house, let the world also know. So thank you very much, and we will pleasure to be with you. Thank you.
Any program has got a takeaway, isn't it? Can somebody tell us what will be the takeaway of this program? Will it be a software takeaway, hardware takeaway? Sir, Devrajulu sir, takeaways. Your takeaways is reaching you in a bag, environment friendly jute bag. Word of thanks, please. At least you will not go back and say, I didn't have any takeaway in this program. We are ensuring that you have a takeaway. Thank you. And from my side, thanks to the members in industry committee, Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. I would like to introduce myself as Abhijit Jain, the Secretary of Bangalore chapter, and thank you for giving me this opportunity to deliver the vote of thanks at this CFO Leadership Summit. At the outset, I would like to thank our President, sir, who has been present with us virtually. Thank you, Mr. Ashwin Dalwadi ji, as well as Mr. MK Anand, sir, who was also present with us online. And a special thanks to TC.A. Seinivasa Prasad, sir, for having placed the trust on Bangalore chapter. We were actually in Indore after the national chapters meet, and sir calls Devraj and says, we want to do this summit in Bangalore. When he said 23rd, and I don't know what striked our dynamic Devraj sir, he said, yes sir, definitely. I was like, boss, what are you talking? We are in Indore over here. We need to arrange for CFOs, not for members or students who are generally coming to the PD program, and you have given a commitment. We have not even finalized the hotel, and he says, Agate bido, we'll see. And special thanks to sir for placing that trust on Bangalore chapter, sir. And I hope we met the expectation of what was. Thank you, sir. So thank you once again, TC.A. Seinivasa Prasad, sir. A special thanks to our Central Council member, Suresh Gunjali ji, Harshad Deshpande ji, DP Nandi ji, who is a Senior Director of the Institute, Girish Kambadraya, sir, our regional council member, Vishwanath Bhatt, sir, again, our regional council member. Thank you, thanks to the regional council and the central council members. And two stalwarts of the institute, the two former presidents, G.N. Venkatraman, sir, and M. Gopalkrishnan, sir. And thanks to our senior member and a former chairman of Bangalore chapter, Ramaskanda, sir, and Gopal Ramanan, sir, for organizing and helping us organize this event. And a special thanks to, again, to CMA Devrajulu B, our chapter chairman, as well as the entire MC of Bangalore chapter. And I would fail in my duty if I fail to thank all the CFOs and participants who have been actively participating in this CFO Leadership Summit. Thank you all once again for this late Saturday evening meeting, which is usually the family time. Gopal Ramanan sir was telling his family time. Will we be able to get in CFOs, etc. So again, thanks to all. You have given time from your family time to the institute and given us, more importantly, insights to the CCMs and the institute for developing the students and the way forward. Thank you all. Special thanks to the hospitality partner, Radisson Blue. Our cameraman, where's the cameraman? Special thanks to you. He is organized for a photograph of the group photograph, which is there in your takeaway. So I hope you all like that. And as our staff, obviously, the Bangalore chapter staff, special thanks to you as well. Thank you all, and have a great weekend, and good night. Jai Hind. Thank you. Thank you, M.K. Anand, sir, and Ashwin Dalwadi ji. We wind up over here. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Excellent program. We need this type of program everywhere.